You know, Lexus tried to design this car to look very, very young, but when you sit inside, it still become Baba car. You drive it. 6 something now, so early. See, Bing and I, why we wake up so early? Because look at that 159 there. Yes, you want us to review the 159. Drive Alpha, of course, comes Shell, right? Morning, guys. This is Wen Pei.
Hi.
And she's the owner of this Alfa Romeo 159. So how I end up here is because about a month ago, some Alpha guys, and you all don't perasan first, asked me, Bobby, when are you gonna do a Genting run with a proper Alfa Romeo? Then I was like, okay, anybody willing to let me drive their 159? Senyap, everybody quiet, except Wen Pei. Wen Pei said,
Me.
epic, I tell you, epic. She said, drive my car, go ahead. Wow. And this is hers. It's absolutely beautiful. White color exterior, red color interior. So, who racun you?
My boyfriend actually, Wesley.
Yeah, hello,
Yeah.
Wesley. You want to? Yeah. So you racun her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when I want to buy a car, and then he gave me 3 choices.
Yep.
Then I first saw this car, and I just fall in love with it. So
You fall in love with the front or the back?
front, absolutely.
The
Front,
design
front.
of the car,
Yeah.
right?
It's like an angel with angry eyes.
It's so beautiful. A lot of people didn't realize that the 159, actually the front end design, is 6 headlamps,
Yeah,
right?
it's very
But
special.
because they use the bonnet line and the bumper line to encircle it, you thought you're looking at a triangular headlamp, but actually it's not. It's 3 on one side. So how long have you had the car?
1 year plus.
1 year plus.
Yeah.
So far, smiling.
Yeah.
You drive it daily,
Yeah. Daily drive.
and after you lock your car, do you turn back and look at your car?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, because
this is.
I mean, if you spend the same money on a Beza, that Beza, you won't turn back. Oh, look at my Beza. Oh,
Yeah, every time I like look back, I like, wow, beautiful.
right? You're like, oh, see, look at the Beza. So okay lah. Sorry, Beza owners.
No comments.
See, basically they spend the kind of money that some people would have bought a high spec Beza or high spec Myvi.
Beza, but also sexy. Quite can look.
Beza. Okay, let's talk about Alpha lah. So what is the thing that you love most about this car, your car? Except apart from the looks, how beautiful she is.
The interior look sporty and classic.
Yes, so nice, right?
Also
Wait,
the
for you, is your car a he or she? For you?
her.
Okay.
She.
Actually, every Italian car enthusiast will refer to their car as Bella. They call them Bella. Yeah. Yeah. They call their cars Bella.
So I'm correct.
It's just a beautiful car.
Yeah.
Remember when it came out? I drove it about 10 years ago and love it. It's just that, I mean, last time I cannot afford the car, but then that's how it is. Sometimes you want something, but then when the time passes, it just never happened at the right time for me. You know, if it happened at the right time for me, I would have bought it immediately. So you're gonna keep the car for
Forever.
right?
Yeah.
So when you poison her with this one and the other 2 choices are what?
BMW 320D.
320D.
Citroen's DS4.
Oh, guys, proper guy with taste. Right? You are the type of people where we want to promote using Evo Enduro. You know, some people they are like, the Evo Enduro only for expensive cars. I'm like, no, you look at the list, right? We want people who bought the wrong car in normal people's eyes.
Yeah, because we like something unique.
Not just unique, there's that. It brings out the meaning of why you own a car in the first place, you know. If not, you take a Grab, same. You buy a Beza and you take Grab, what's the difference? What is the difference? Right. But when you have your own personal car and they allow me to bring it for Genting Run, I'm so happy. And I don't know how to use this gearbox at Genting Run. I have totally no idea. So what I'm going to do is just to try and press Sport, and then I'll just drive it like it is. But I can downshift anytime if I want, right?
Yeah.
Right, you will override, right?
Yeah.
So this is a 2012 car. See, now we're at third gear, 3,000, 4,000 RPM. Funny, when the RPM high, you don't really feel it from the throttle. So it climbs nicely. This is the 2.2 JTS. Monkeys up front. Oh, let go of the Bing. It drags the gear. Oh. Excuse-moi. Hello. Oh, you got 4 exhausts! So many exhausts! So bad. Hey, did I record? Oh yeah, I did. So bad things. Oh, see? Yeah, no, I did not. I just press on the throttle, it downshift by itself. See? Yo, I like this. Hey, the car sounds good, what?
Even me also never heard this sound.
The car sounds good, what? When it revs. Oh, look at the front end. The front end is so... Guys, if you do not know how a 159 drives, right, the front end is so light. For any front-wheel drive cars, this front end changes direction like a BMW. I didn't drag gear, I didn't do anything. It does it by itself. I don't want to enter the wrong gear. Oh, I love the front end so much. It doesn't understeer. It doesn't push the front out. And it drags the gears. I hope I don't break anything. I don't want to break anything.
Like in the video game, the sound.
Yeah, you see, it's so nice. Say lah, after this I go back Muda already, I tell you. Because the last round I drove this car, right, we were still printing magazines. We focused more on finding a beautiful place to take photo than to actually drive it. So I drove it in Lake Garden, can you imagine? Alfa Romeo. Yo, so nice, Bing. Oh my god. Sorry, people won't pay.
It's okay. I also can feel my
It drags by itself to 6,000-7,000 RPM. Your tires are 18-inch high. If you're 19, I give you my tires. If they fit lah. Oh, we can.
We are not
Searching for tires.
researching.
Oh, you know when I first bought my Audi, I had to buy used tires for a good 8 years. I cannot afford new tires back then. And the suspension is good. I mean, for an old car, the pliancy of this car when going through bends like this is so nice. Now, first of all, it's way more agile than my Audi S4. And the whole car feels light. Right? It feels light. It doesn't feel...
And I can see your steering input once you turn the car forward.
Yes,
Very
immediately.
nice.
Look at that.
That's great.
And it's so predictable. Oh, ได้啦，老婆买车了啦！哎呦 it's so nice. Being this car at Mei Hong San, brilliant. Oh, I like the fact that you know what the car is doing, and it's so predictable. These are like what, Nexon the tires, right? Huh. Oh, I love the handling of this car. So damn nice. Front wheel drive. I didn't even go any sport mode or whatever. No need manual mode or what. Just drive it like it is, and it knows what it's doing. So this gearbox wants you to drive fast. When you drive slow, the gearbox merajo. People complain the gearbox, why the gearbox jerking. The gearbox is actually like, faster. Yeah, it's so nice. I don't even need to downshift or anything. I just do it like that, and then it drags the gears. When I drive modern BMWs, I need to kick the throttle down so many times for it to downshift. This guy just holds it there. Brilliant! You found the correct wife. Oh, branches. Thanks for crushing them for me. Oh, I love it. Oh, I just love... Okay, done lah, babe. Fuck lah. Habis liao lah. Jialat liao lah. But if I found the spider, wow, that one even better. The Brera spider. I think you Genting very skilled lah. Genting taxi lah. So nice. Oh, wow, when it upshifts. Wow. Thank you. So, sorry, Weasley.
Yeah.
Weasley has a 335i, E92 335i. And the wife, I'll just call the wife or girlfriend. Okay. Alfa 159. Can you get a better couple car than this? Whoa. So all your friends are like, wow. Right?
We haven't drive both car together.
Ah.
Yeah, some of them will say, why risk? Why take the risk?
Why take the risk, right? Why live if you are gonna die anyway? Right? I mean, we're gonna die one day, right? Why live? Right? I realized one thing.
At least I own a nice car.
Yes, exactly. You own an Alfa. I mean, people ask you what car you drive. Oh, Alfa Romeo. Alfa Romeo. Wow. Thank you so much. Oh.
You're like get a letter for the 金马奖.
No, 什么金马奖?
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you, my mother.
Bing, smiling. It's so nice to drive. And the Celeste speed, or we call it silly speed last time. Celeste speed it has its characters. It doesn't feel like, I mean, now every car uses 8-speed ZF, right? They all feel the same, roughly. And now you look at cars, right? 8-speed gearbox, fast shifting ZF, slower IC. You can tell already. It's like, yeah, it has its Italianness. You know, the Italian plastics are there, but overall, oh, so nice. Can I park here? Normally we park there, but now I park here, so when we sit there, we can look at the car. Reverse like this. Beep beep. Bang. Family car 了。
有 family 吗？
你也是就来嘛。Right?
我现在都是这些。哇。
So Bing, when are you getting married?
Then I just get another Miata lah.
You...
Oh, I actually got another Miata already.
I think okay, wait. Is there a park? No park on, right?
Yeah,
No,
and
Just leave it there. Would it roll? No, but actually I didn't use the brake a lot just now.
At all lah.
Not a lot lah. I didn't use like a lot lah. Because, so... Do I need to leave it? It's okay one, right? Oil temp 110. You see guys, proper water temperature, oil temp is here, and why can't car makers do things like this? And this is metal. This feels metal. Original.
Yeah, original aluminium.
Damn! Aluminium panel on the interior. See, aluminium is such a nicer material to touch than stupid carbon fibers. See those cars say, wow, the whole dashboard carbon fiber. Actually, carbon fiber feels the same as plastic when you touch.
And this is more soothing to the eyes.
Yes,
To
carbon fiber when you tap it or when you touch it, it has the same sensation as plastic. Thank you, Fiona. You are a woman of great taste.
Thank you.
Okay.
It's okay.
I won't pay. Oh, sorry,
It's
won't pay.
okay.
Press
Yeah.
and then pull out.
Yes.
Fuyo.
Like your Audi one, or?
See? Alfa Romeo.
I should take a new key.
Oh, got new key.
Yeah.
Why?
Got another one spare key.
Oh, the owner keep it very new. Lah.
Ah.
Oh, my Audi key all scratched already. This one still looks very good. Thank you.
You're not driving later?
Yeah. 顶你要加吗？
不用紧一点。你要吃吗？ The dog want to pee. The dog also know which car to pee on. Territory.
Guys, this aluminium panel is original. Aluminium feels better to the touch than carbon fiber. They look good and then it's cold to the touch. So damn pretty. Hi guys, I have a Mazda 3 sedan. Yes, finally I get the chance to drive the 159, and I have to thank you, Wen Pei, the lady in the middle. She's the owner of this beautiful Alfa Romeo 159. So just to recap a bit, I got asked by some of the Alfa boys, it's like, Bobby, when are you going to do a Genting run in a proper Alfa Romeo? And then I was like, cool. Who would be so kind to allow me to drive their car for a Genting run? And nobody responded. Everybody just kept quiet. And then this lady, this lovely lady who's driving this beautiful white color 159, she's like, hey, please drive my car. This is a proper car person. Just take a moment to absorb in the beautiful design of this car, the profile of this car. Look at that. See, look at how the lines end, where it's supposed to end and where it begins, and where the bumper conjoins with the bodywork. It's just a masterpiece of design. Now this design came from the concept car, which turned into the Brera. The Brera is like the shooting brake version of this two-door hatchback, right? And this is the sedan version. And now this car was the first time that the Fiat Group, see, that time Fiat Group was considering to have a merger with GM, General Motors, to have an entry into the US market. And so they were cuddling in bed together. So this car actually carries a 2.2 liter JTS engine, and there's another version which is a 3.2, both which derive from engines from General Motors. Now a lot of people might, especially the British press, they were the ones who started saying nonsense like you know, Alfa lost its character, blah 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 blah. They're not using an Alfa engine, but come on, man, the American engines are absolutely reliable. Okay, so look at the design of this car. It's so clean, and when you think about it, this is a design that this car was designed back in 2004, right? And beginning to sell in Europe beginning 2005, and they arrived in Malaysia rather late. It arrived in Malaysia somewhere 2009 or 2010. You know, came in rather late because there was a change of hands in Alfa dealership in Malaysia. Just take a moment to look at this body line that runs all the way down, and then with the door handles beneath it, and this little white body here, right, this fender arch here is just lovely. You know, cars of this era, they haven't made those stamping that is like super sharp edges like the ones you see on Audis now. So in terms of build, it is of a different era, but I think this car is just absolutely beautiful. The rims, only Alfa can carry these type of rim designs. 18-inch. I don't know what's the name of these rims. Of course, a proper Alfisti will know how to name it. And this angle, the front is the killer angle of this car, huh? Looking from here, I especially love how this part gradually tapers. It's very obvious in person. You will see this very strong line that runs down like this, and it's very clean. Now if you look at this car, you would have thought the headlamp is a triangle shape, right? But now that you look at it, that triangle is actually created by the enclosure of the bonnet line and then the bumper below, and the illusion that they are a single unit was enhanced by this little line here, where in fact this car is just a car. It's not like just, I mean that's an understatement, right? This is a 6 headlamp car, if you think about it. If you look at it, right, these are 3 individual rounded headlamps. See? 1, 2, 3. And of course with the fog lamp, which is almost of equal size. So it is a very, it's a master stroke. Seriously, the way they designed this, you know. 3 headlamps here, 3 lamp units that makes up the headlamp, basically, and 6 in total. And if you plus the fog lamp, is 8. So 8 rounded elements housed within an enclosure that gives you the illusion that this is a single unit. This is just absolutely brilliant. And the way they flank the Alfa grille, the triangle grille, this is such a beautiful car. I've always said this is a fantastic used car to buy. See, this is a 2012 car, and the owner wouldn't pay. She bought it for 50 something thousand. I mean, she could have bought a Persona or a top spec Myvi, right? But she went for this instead. Took a loan and drives it daily to work. And she just loves the car. She said it was love at first sight. The moment she saw the car, she just fell in love with it. I think everybody fell in love with this car, right? It's just that you might be hearing a lot of nonsense from people around you saying stuff that, oh, don't. But the thing is this, when you fell in love with something, you will do things that you basically won't with your microwave or your fridge, right? You love the car. So in terms of upkeep, of course it's not as simple as, you know, walking into a petrol station and you're able to buy a bottle of steering fluid or brake fluid, you know. It's not like that. You need to use their stuff. And the fact that Alfa is no longer officially represented in Malaysia, this also means that they need to find Alfa workshops that carries, you know, the fluids and things like that for you to use, because you can't just simply put in normal fluids. Alright, but still, this is part of the ownership experience, and I mean, what I respect them is that she took the effort, and no, she fell in love with something, and she's willing to make sacrifices for it, and from then onwards, it's no longer just a transportation device. It becomes a companion. It becomes her Bella, you know, and it forms a relationship. These are the things that we want to promote with the way we do our content, right? With Evo Enduro and the things like that, we want people to buy or to use machines that are made with passion, lovely cars like these. See, this is an absolutely beautiful car. So I won't be reviewing this car with the usual, like usually I would just tell that I would say things like, why can't the armrest be a single piece here, and then they should open up this molding instead of it bulging up, then it allows a bottle and things like that, or whether the door panels are wide enough for bottles and things like that. No, as long as there's a space for you to put your things, right? There's a little cubby here, put your stuff. And this is Alfa Romeo we're talking about, so they do not have that kind of be it technology or capabilities like the Germans, where they can manufacture parts that are absolutely fitting. Like Audi can make this 3-piece to feel like 1 piece, without all these gaps here. Audi can do all that, but they are a smaller company, they couldn't, so no point making noise about it, right? But in terms of the design, I can't fault it, right? It's very nice. And of course they don't use as high grade a material as the Germans, but hey, this whole thing is cold to the touch, like the one being posted, is 1-piece aluminium. See, this is plastic, but it's painted nicely, right? This one as well. And then the entire dash, the cover for this dash, this is brushed aluminium, proper 1-piece brushed aluminium stock, and in my opinion, brushed aluminium, even though we know it's not as expensive as carbon fiber, it feels better to the touch than carbon fiber. I mean, it feels cold to the touch, and it's just a nicer surface to touch. And if it's carbon fiber here, carbon fiber will feel like what when you touch? It feels like plastic. It feels exactly like plastic, right? And I think this is just beautiful. And the head unit, somehow it just matches. Look at the whole dashboard, right? It's just beautiful to look at. So that you have the speedo over here, the rev counter, the speedometer, and then you have your fuel gauge, right? Your water temperature, your oil temperature. It's just lovely. Proper analog dials. Of course, I would be really happy if I see the little word down there, Magneti Marelli, but then I don't think these are made by them. These are rather, in terms of the dial font face, the dial face is rather simple, and these are just plastic garnishings that would have looked way better if they are made in aluminium, which these are plastics. Then the steering wheel, look at this portion that I'm touching. This part is again the same material as this, the brushed aluminium, and they feel so good to the touch. They feel cold to the touch. I love that. I love it. This proper metal here. Like a lot of car makers, they want to replicate this, then they use plastic, like the new Porsches. So the metal surface that you see on Porsche steerings now, they are actually plastics that are coated with some metal look-alike material. So they look like metal, they reflect like metal, but they don't feel cold to the touch. That's the difference. Alright. Now this is an Italian car, so there are bound to be surfaces where when you touch them, it feels like the rubbery surface that has plagued Alfa Romeos, Fiats, and some older BMWs, even F30, right? The door handle has that plastic. So this is a kind of during this era, it is a type of coating on plastics that makes hard plastic feels like soft touch plastic. It's like some plastic dip coating where they spray on top of it, and then it feels soft to the touch, feels rubbery to the touch. It dampens the surface. But under our sun, actually under any sun, it just deteriorated and become sticky. But actually, all you need to do is just a short trip to one of those shops that does interior, it's a very simple process. They will just take out this plastic piece, sandblast it to its base plastic, and then paint it. Just spray paint whatever color you want. You want red color, you want black, then it becomes glossy plastic surface. No props. Or if you want to buy another can of plastic dip just to spray it again, you can do so. Right? And look at this driver-oriented cockpit. This whole thing is slanted towards the driver. And for the passenger side, Alfa always has this. Even since the 146, 155, they always have this curved in part that gives the passenger a sense of space. Of course, this would also mean that you will have a smaller glove box because you literally curve in. But it is also this curve that gives the kind of a cocooning feel to the passenger, right? And of course, what is an Italian car without a beautiful design seat with embroidery of the logo? It's not just stamp, it's embroidery. It's just so nice. The seats look good, they feel great. The leather, Italian leather, I suppose, is nice. These are not Napas, but then they feel good, And the size is more or less more similar to, more suitable to, I guess, Italians. Yeah, it's not a big seat, right? By any standards, right? You have these. You see, they always have their own suppliers. You just don't see this one. You're like, have I seen this in other cars? Nope. It's like they have their own suppliers for that. Oh, you see the surfacing is all off. This has got to be the slimmest, most slender sunglass holder ever. But hey, everything in this car works. Okay, everything. And just start the car, put the keys in. Where's the key? Do I have it in my pocket? Yes, I think I do. Is that my key or the Alfa's key? That's my key. What's the Alfa key? Is it with me? Okay, it's here. Sorry. So that's the key. She got 2 keys, comes in a set. Just slot it in, then you will turn on the car and then you push start from here. Alright, don't ask me why. This was designed back in 2004, 2005. Okay, there's a pedal shifter, and interestingly, maybe they don't have enough aluminium left after this because the pedal shifters are made in plastic, and of course they would have feel a lot better if they're made in aluminium, right? So nonetheless, it's there. And here you have a sport button, and I think that's to switch on and off the VDC. This is to lock the door. That's the emergency. And to switch the gears, this car, okay, now it's off, so I can't push it. So you can see from this graph here, okay, once you start the car, just push it to the right, then you're in drive. Okay, now the interesting thing is that when you switch off the car, by the time you switch off the car, if you left the gears in sport mode and auto, it will start in sport and auto. If you left it in manual and sport, it will start in manual and sport. It starts in the gear, in the setting you left it in proper. Italians, they never got it wrong when it comes to driving, stuff that are related to driving. Even when you look at how they put the plus and minus, minus is up, plus is down. So for those of you who don't understand this, why is this? Because when you are accelerating, you want to go front, your momentum of pushing back makes you go faster in front. So that's why proper driver's cars on their Steptronic gear or their dual clutch or whatever, right, they will always put plus as up, minus as down. Only the non-driver's cars will make it more intuitive for non-car enthusiasts would put up as plus, down as minus. Alright, so all the driver's cars, they always put plus as down, minus as up. Okay, so because this is an Italian car, and there's a little armrest holder here. I mean, you can put a little bit of stuff here, but hey, rear aircon vents. in this era, that's quite something. And that's rather elaborate. This has got to be the biggest, most elaborate switchgear for adjusting your mirrors. I love how the handle feels when you pull it. Alright, let's come to the rear seat. That's my sitting position. As you can see from the bench, it might not be obvious at first sight. It has a nice curve. I mean, the leather looks great and all, right? But in terms of the bench, it's actually very short. Okay, if I show you how I sit, wait okay, see that? That's how far my thighs extend out. Okay, and yeah, it's not a big car by any measure, but hey, again, I'm gonna come back to this. It was designed in 2004, 2005, and back then cars of this segment wasn't this big yet. Wasn't as big as they are now. Okay, but nevertheless, I still have some room down here, albeit the floor is not flat. And then here you have an early version of the Mercedes C-Class and E-Class and S-Class rear wall-E aircon vents. Okay, you will never unsee this. The eyes, the pupils, the nose, and the mouth. Now it looks like some Minecraft character looking at you all the time. Alright. Now, these type of armrests is pretty unique. They don't have any sort of cup holders at the back, but the whole thing is one cushion that feels beautifully finished, like like a lounge sofa's armrest. So this armrest is very focused on being an armrest. It only wants to be an armrest and nothing else in its life, right? It starts and ends its life as an armrest, and it's a comfortable seat. I just love the stitching, right? It doesn't use any cross color, stitching, but then you look at the way they finish it. It's just different, I think this makes all the difference. It makes the car look way more luxurious than it actually is. In terms of the sitting position for the rear passengers, I mean, for my size, I'm 5'11", so okay, now I'm seated here like this. It has a rather upright seat back, but I get like 2 fingers of headroom, and I get like 2 fingers of knee room, and that's about it. So this is the room I get as a rear passenger. Not a lot, but it's an Alfa Romeo, so I'm fine with that. Okay, now this one is the type whereby I usually don't really like, but back then all European car makers, they use this type because this forces you to pull up the headrest, and after you pull up the headrest you have proper whiplash protection. But this kind of design also means that when the rear passengers are not here, the headrests are rather obstructing the view. So now I see more European car makers, they stop using this type of design. This one you can find it in even the Peugeot 308 Turbo. Alright, now this car is 7 years old now. Of course, some of the stuffs do happen, like this thing will start drooping a little bit. Even the foam behind the leather, right? These are hot press. These are not stitches. You see, these are not stitches. So there's a piece of foam behind here. And last time when they do this door panel, they hot press it in with glue. Now it's a bit loose, but it's not something that you can't fix easily to one of those shops that does interiors. And yeah. They say the car full tank 70 litre for this engine, 2.2 litre, can go anywhere from 550 to 600-ish kilometers, which I think is fuel efficient. And the car drives beautifully, and the 2.2 litre engine, I think it produces somewhere 190 horsepower. So it's a high horsepower, naturally aspirated engine. Lovely engine. And the transmission, yes, I mean, if you compare to modern transmissions, everybody will go like, damn, this transmission is jerky, but it has character. Okay, so yeah, man, this is the Alfa Romeo 159. I really have to thank them for letting me drive their car this morning, and yeah, I'm glad, I'm happy, and now the urge is even stronger to seek for either a 159 or an Alpha Spider or a Brera. Any one of you watching this, if you know someone who owns a Brera and he or she might want to, don't know, has gone tired with their car and thinking of selling them, please let me know. Or should I? I mean, I don't know whether someone who owns an Alfa Brera, be it a 2.2 or a 3.2 Q4, if they might consider the prospect, or they might want to sit down with me and then we have some beer and consider the prospect of maybe swapping cars. I'm not sure, you know. The only thing I can put on my table is an Audi S4 Avant and a BMW 640i Cabriolet. Maybe, just maybe. I don't know, man. I'm in love with this car now. Alright guys, here's the review of the Alfa Romeo 159, where the owner is there, Wen Pei, and then her boyfriend also drives something rather unique. And that's for another day. Okay, so I seldom do used car reviews. If you are interested in used car reviews, you can go to another one of my colleagues' channel, Chris Wee. He does a lot of used car reviews. As for me, mostly I do new cars. Over the past 3 years, I've done more than 1,000 car reviews. Please go through my channel and search for any cars you like. Cheers, guys.
不过其实 maintenance wise 这两台还比 BM 省心很多。